Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. But let's face it, mostly gentlemen.
But mostly gentlemen.
Yes. This is the Team RedEye ShitShow, and I'm here with my trusty sidekick, Corbin. And
I'm here with my homosexual life mate, Silent Bob.
What do we want to talk about today, Corbin?
Joe.
Oh, yeah? I don't know about that. I think I'd rather talk about Sock On. Or Candace.
Sock on what?
Sock on these nuts. Yeah, do we have a topic in mind for today?
Joe.
A beater.
Waiting if you repeat myself.
Oh, you want to know something really lame?
What?
Burger King got rid of their tacos. There's something to complain about.
Why?
I don't know! That was like the main reason I went to Burger King, was to get their cheap-ass, artificial-as-fuck tacos that taste like shit, because I fucking love them.
The only reason I went to Burger King was for their chicken, like those chicken fry things, but they don't have those anymore.
Oh, chicken fries? Those are seasonal. They come back.
Oh. Well, that's dumb. There shouldn't be seasonal food. Just have all the food.
I just really wish that they didn't get rid of their tacos, because I always ate those. That's all I got there.
I hate the idea of, like, breakfasts, because that doesn't make sense to me. Breakfast is just food in the morning. There isn't, like, bacon isn't breakfast, cereal isn't breakfast, that's just food.
Hashtag breakfast is a social construct. But yeah, no, I kind of agree. I think that breakfast is whatever the fuck you want it to be. So I don't know why. It is a bit lame. Like, some McDonald's still do the all-day breakfast, but I think the one by my house doesn't anymore, so I can't get a McGriddle whenever I want.
I have a McDonald's near me, though, that actually does serve breakfast still.
All day?
All day.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think there's another one.
Whenever I watch Big Daddy, though, I get infuriated with Adam Sandler. Remember the McDonald's at breakfast?
I guess the way he acts, I mean, granted, if I saw a customer like that, that would really piss me off back when I was working there. Because back then, breakfast did stop at 10:30. Like, it stopped at 10:30 back when I worked there. Like, we didn't serve breakfast after 10:30, except for on Saturdays, which it was 11.
Yeah, but it's dumb that you're not able to serve the breakfast whenever anybody wants it.
No, but there's a reason for it, because the grill has different equipment that's used for breakfast than for lunch.
Well, isn't that a dumb design?
Yeah, I would agree. But that's just how it is.
That should be fixed then.
Like, there's these things called...
At the root of it, there's a problem. Fix that problem.
Yeah, McDonald's, fix your shit. This is a serious problem, goddammit.
I want to talk to Mr. McDonald himself.
Mr. John McDonald's himself.
Not Ronald.
No, John
That's
McDonald's.
fake. That's a fictional character, Ronald McDonald. We're talking about the real John McDonald.
Yeah, exactly. You ever seen Mac and Me?
Yes, the McDonald's E.T. movie.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie. It's so stupid.
Yeah, and on his planet, they all drink Coca-Cola.
Yeah, this must be like what he drinks on his own planet. The fuck are you talking about, kid? How do you pick that up? It's kind of a reach. I mean, he's right, but how the fuck does he know that?
If anything, I would have just assumed the alien was addicted to our human-like drugs beyond the realms of his understanding.
Yeah, exactly. I do like that scene, though, when the wheelchair rolls down the fucking thing and he falls in the fucking waterfall.
Yeah, they use that, like, Conan clips.
Yeah, it's funny because alien pops up when he does it. I also like how the kid just fucking dies and then the alien brings him back to life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the scene...
Yeah, he literally, like, doesn't he, like... Isn't there, like, an explosion in the background of the kid's dead body in a wheelchair?
Yeah, but, like, he's nowhere near the explosion, so I have no idea what the fuck killed him, but he just died.
The stress was just too much. Wait, no, what if he dies and then literally, like, there's a doctor and he goes, damn it, died of a goddamn heart attack. This is so sad. And, like, and then the alien goes and tries to heal him. And then they all start going, alien! They shoot him to death.
Yeah, so he couldn't save the kid. That'd be funny.
Also, I just think it'd be funny if he died of a heart attack in this kid's movie. Just a kid had a heart attack.
Dude, it was light. He wrote his name in the death note. It was really him, boys.
God, it was Dollar General.
Yeah, there you go. One of these days I should have you do a Tales from the Drive-Thru episode. We should do a Team RedEye special where all of us talk about stuff.
Yeah, because more and more weird stuff has been happening at my store.
Trust me, I know. I used to work customer service. Remember, I worked...
Because a lady took a poop on the girls' bathroom floor.
What the fuck?
And then another woman was screaming the F word at me because she didn't understand how her discounts worked.
And that's when you turn to her and you say, I missed the part where that's my problem.
She literally was mad at me, though, and was, like, yelling at me. It's like, every time I come to this store, there's always problems. And, like, just like a part of my head, just wanted to say like, bitch, then don't come here. Like,
I was gonna say, just be like, well, then why don't you stop coming to this store if you have problems?
Yeah. Like, I don't get why. I don't see that's the kind. I never have that problem because if I don't like somewhere, I don't go there.
I did, like when I worked at McDonald's, right? There would be tons of times when a customer would be like, I don't appreciate your customer service here, and I'd be like, then go somewhere else. I would straight up tell them that because I could get away with doing whatever the fuck I wanted there because they were desperate to keep me there because there wasn't a lot of people.
Yeah, they're kind of desperate to keep me where I'm at.
Yeah, that's what
I literally showed up. I literally showed up to a job where everybody was fired within not fired. Everybody quit within like the span of like 2 months.
No, that's the thing right now is that the job market is super good for people who want jobs. It's shit for trying to hire people though, because President Potato put out this thing where he extended all these fucking like benefits and shit for a while. I think they kind of stopped it. And to be fair, I don't think it was just Biden. I think it was it was like that under Trump too, wasn't it? With the with the fucking what's it called, unemployment.
I don't know what happened, but I know that I'm making a couple $100 a week. Heck yeah.
Hell yeah, you good for you. I get paid a lot more than you.
$100 a week.
Let the good times roll. You remember in The Simpsons when Bart does all that work for like a week and he's like backbreaking labor, like ripping out weeds and shit, and the lady gives him 50 cents at the end of the week?
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, and he's like, all that for 50 cents? And she's like, you earned every penny. Now say thank you. And he's like, lady, I can leave without saying a bad word, but I will not say thank you. And she's like, you're welcome.
That's like a lot of work out where I'm at, though. That's a lot of the kind of work you have to do.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, like, a lot of people can't get jobs because of drug testing, so they just, work for each other and do, like, yard work for, like, just small amounts of money.
I think that customer service is not my favorite thing. That's why I much prefer just working in a warehouse like I do.
It's funny, though.
Oh, yeah. It gives you some interesting memories.
It's funny though because when you see somebody freaking out about you over something that you don't care about at all, it kind of makes you happy that you don't care about it. Also, sometimes having a job will make you feel superior to other people.
I can see it.
Sometimes it will do the opposite also.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really shows you where your place is. Also, guess what?
What's that?
I work with 3 women and 2 men.
Okay.
Guess which 2 people I work with I haven't had any problems with at all. Guess which 3 I've had tons of problems with since I've started.
Hey man, mo bitches, mo problems.
It seems like women like it when bad things happen in their life.
Yeah.
Because it's just something to do. And it's nice, and they seem to like getting me involved.
Dude, bitches are nothing but drama.
I thought they were, whatever Pink Guy says in that song that's also not even his song originally. I don't know what that song is.
I don't know what you're referring to.
The bitches ain't shit, but...
Are you talking about that one rap song that says bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pink Guy version was like a ukulele cover. You know Eskimos? Those disgusting foreigner degenerates suck the snot out of their babies' nostrils.
Is that a thing that they do?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because they don't have tissues, so they just suck the snot out of their baby's nostrils.
Now, is this a thing that's currently true, or is this like an old thing that doesn't get done anymore?
Either way, they should be wiped out, I say.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
Corbin, you just got this video struck down for advocating genocide. What are you gonna do next?
Whatever the fuck I want.
You ever seen that movie Nanook of the North?
No.
It's this old documentary from the 20s. It's a silent movie about Eskimos.
Oh, I see. So Nook is a way I can insult them.
No.
It isn't? Then
No.
I don't know what that means.
No, Nanook is the guy's name.
Oh.
But here's the thing, that's not actually the guy's name, because they made up a bunch of shit when they made the documentary, quote-unquote, and they staged a bunch of shit. So a lot of it wasn't even actually, like, real. It was very clearly staged. But the thing is it was a representation of what Eskimo life used to be like. They just pretended it was, like, stuff that was still going on.
Oh.
But a lot of it wasn't true. But it's still an interesting movie.
You know what's even more gross?
What's
Those
that?
sexual deviants, instead of kissing with their mouths like normal people, they use their noses, too. These people have a weird, sick nose fetish, and I don't know what's going on over there, you know what I'm saying?
Watch, Corbin. Some Eskimo's gonna flag this video for hate speech now.
I don't care about those people.
God damn it, Corbin.
They're just Eskimos.
Did you know that Eskimo is considered like they don't like white people don't like you to use that word. Eskimos don't give a shit if you call them Eskimos, but like the term Eskimo is considered offensive to like, you know, stupid fucking SJW types.
If Eskimo is just our word for it, why would it be offensive?
It's not our word for it, it's their word for it. That's why I don't get why it's offensive to people.
I don't get why that's offensive to people, though, anyways. If you make up a word for a race, I don't see why that's such a big deal. That's just your word for that race.
Yeah, but like the thing is, it's so... They say that the proper term is Inuit. That's what they try to say, right? But the thing is Inuit is a specific set of tribes. Eskimo is broad and covers all of them. So Inuit actually isn't correct in a lot of cases. And in fact, many Eskimos don't even have the word Inuit in their language. Instead, they refer to themselves as Eskimos. They don't even know what the fucking Inuit is. So, using Inuit is just narrowing it down to a very select group of tribes and then labeling the rest of them out of it. So if anything, that's more racist in my opinion.
I believe you're pronouncing idiot wrong.
My name is Yoshikage Kira. I'm 33 years old. I was born with glass bones and paper skin. You remember that story from like the SpongeBob the scammer guy?
Wait, what?
Do you not remember that?
Did you say glass bones and paper skin?
Yes. And he's like, every morning when I wake up, I break my arms. And every night when I go to bed, I break my legs. The only thing that puts me to sleep is the sound of my own tears. Do you not remember that?
Your own tears? That sounds funny.
It's from the SpongeBob episode where they're selling chocolate.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, what? He goes to, like, some crazy guy's house.
Well, yeah, the chocolate, that guy, yeah. No, that's not what I'm referring to, though. I'm referring to the other house they go to where the guy is, like, giving them this really bad sob story about how his life's just horrible.
As a kid, that episode where there was, like, an episode where Patrick off his head and there's the gorilla man.
Yeah. Alright, here, Corbin, here. Here we go.
Some guys have all the luck. I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs. And every afternoon I break my arms. At night, I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep. Oh, no! No!
But yeah, it turns out that guy was lying. He was the scammer guy from earlier in the episode just pretending to be, like, injured. But I still think it's really funny.
I like that episode where they horribly mangle Squidward. Wait, no, Squidward gets, like, horribly shocked by all those jellyfish because SpongeBob and Patrick are dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have him in the wheelchair, and Patrick keeps stabbing him in the hand with the
Firmly grasp it!
Yeah.
Just fucking stabs it through his hand.
And Squidward's like, Squidward's like muffled crying is heard.
Yeah. You remember the fucking, like, episode where they think they kill the health inspector and they try to hide the body?
Yeah, I had that episode on DVD.
Love that episode.
And then, yeah, when they go out and, like, bury it, there's the part where they're, like, I think they're slamming the trunk on him over and over or something.
Uh-huh.
It actually felt like something, like, out of the movie Fargo.
Yeah, I still need to see that movie. I know it has Steve Buscemi in it.
Yeah.
Doesn't it have...
That Shredder also had Steve Buscemi in it.
Spoiler, fucker. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Everyone knew about that scene.
I knew there was a wood chipper. I didn't know Steve Buscemi was the one who went into it, you dick.
Oh my god. Everybody knows this Steve Buscemi.
Well, I didn't, so fuck you.
So anyways, I have a little, I was gonna talk about Luke Skywalker's father, but I don't know if you would,
Shut the fuck up.
I don't know if you...
I killed them all, but not just the men, but the women, and the children. They're animals, and I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
When I was, like, younger, I looked up, like, that documentary that everybody used to talk about, like, all the animals being, all the factory farm animals, and, like, their horrible living conditions, and, like, the process of them getting slaughtered and whatever.
I'm not familiar.
But anyways, I saw the documentary,
Uh-huh.
and it just made me really hungry.
Sounds like something Reese would say when he worked at the butcher shop. Do you remember that scene in Malcolm in the Middle where Reese goes hunting in Canada, and, like, it traumatizes the guy he went with because the way Reese went and, like, just, like, slaughtered the animals?
I don't even remember that. So did he slaughter the animals like animals?
Uh-huh. Let's see, hold on. Where is it? Is it on here? No, damn it. It's the episode where they go and they meet, their grandpa's other family, and like they're in Canada and they're meeting all their cousins that are like them.
My grandpa had a family. They would always do everything he said until they all drank Kool-Aid, and that was the last thing they ever did.
And then he died. Ah! You know another thing that really pissed me off that is gone?
What's that?
So there used to be this fast food restaurant around here called Scone Cutter, and they would have like burgers on scones, and it was like my favorite fast food place. But like the final location shut down like 2 months ago, and it really pissed me off.
When I was a kid, I used to go to the Chinese buffet all the time.
Oh, we got a bunch of them.
Well, one time I went to the Chinese buffet, and I went in the bathroom, and there was like a bunch of Asian guys in the bathroom smoking.
Okay.
And I used the toilet, and it was awkward because they were like right out there smoking, talking about something. But then when I came out of the bathroom stall, they all started pointing and laughing at me, and I didn't know what they were talking about.
Are you making this
But I
up?
pointed and laughed back at them. Good time was had by all.
You making this up, or did this happen?
No, this really happened. I went to the bathroom, and they all started, like, when I got out of the bathroom stall, all these Asian guys started pointing and laughing at me, and then I started pointing and laughing at them.
You're like, ha ha ha! That's when you go, hero priest!
And then I went, ha ha ha, and I started doing this slant eye thing.
And then they beat you up.
I wasn't expecting all those Asian guys to know karate and kung fu.
I wouldn't expect all those Asian guys in an Asian restaurant. That's pretty unexpected, don't you think? I wouldn't expect it.
I certainly wouldn't expect Chinese people in a Chinese restaurant.
You know what else I wouldn't expect?
They're mostly Korean.
I wouldn't expect the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
It's true, that's how they get you.
I suspect them, though.
Oh. See, that's how they're not going to get you.
Huh?
I said that's why they're not going to get you.
Remember that nice old man, Socrates?
What about him?
I was just wondering if you remembered him.
I know he was like a philosopher, but I remember fuck all about him other than that.
Oh, you hear about like how Socrates he was killed because of his philosophies, and at the time you had to like believe in, I believe it was Greek mythology that they were believing in. I don't know. I think Socrates was Greek, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was Greek.
I just know that Socrates was the one that was killed for religious reasons. Because that's something that, like, I've heard, like, a lot of people say to me before is, oh, but in ancient Greece, they had freedom to say whatever philosophies they wanted. It's like, that's not true. It's just simply not true.
Yeah, people idealize.
Yeah, no, they didn't. They were biased like anywhere else. I mean, honestly, Greece was pretty based. I'd kill people that disagree with me, too. I've been exercising 4 hours a day for the past 3 days.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's cool. Have you made any gains?
Have I what?
Made any gains?
I don't even know what that means.
Have you gained any muscle?
In 3 days? Not really.
Yeah, I would think not.
It makes you feel a difference, though.
Oh, yeah. 3 days? That's tomorrow. We gotta go.
I like that joke in One Punch Man, where he's fighting like this giant monster, and this monster says, "Now that I've finally released my full power, I'll keep this power consistent for the next whole week by Sunday." And then he says, "Wait a second, he'll have that power for a whole next week by Sunday. But if Sunday's in a week, that means today is Sunday. Oh no!" And he's screaming, and while he's punching the guy, he's screaming because he realizes that his discounts won't work the next day or something. I like it.
I really like the scene. I like the prisoner guy. He's a great character.
Oh, do you mean Putty Prisoner?
Yeah, that's the guy.
The homosexual?
Yeah, I love him. He's so funny.
Yeah, and he's like, and he's always like, he's sexually harassing all the other superheroes.
Fun guy.
Fights naked. And he calls them all his lovelies.
You know who I think is actually a really good character too, though? Like an actual, like, I think he's like one of the like coolest characters in the show.
Who?
Moomin Rider.
Oh yeah, because he takes that beating. That was awesome.
Yeah, Moomin Rider's cool.
Moonman, yeah, because he sucks, but like what makes him good is that he doesn't quit.
Yeah, he's super determined.
I kind of like that though, like how like I like how they portray Moonman Rider as like he's like weak but like it's his will or whatever, and then One Punch Man where he's super strong but literally he gets no recognition at all because it's not about that. It's about like the looks, and it's about like the popularity, and it's about like this whole thing going on.
Yeah.
I just think like that part was cool, but that gets kind of abandoned in the second season. The second season, they just start like actually building up all the side characters, and they barely spend any time on One Punch Man himself, Saitama. I mean,
yeah. You know, the thing about One Punch Man, I think that the reason I like it so much is it's kind of like a parody and a critique of the superhero genre.
Yeah, season 2 isn't like that. Season 2 kind of becomes like just a superhero thing.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
That's lame.
Like it slowly just becomes the parody, just kind of becomes the thing. Like it.
Because like that's the thing. Because I fucking hate superhero stuff for the most part. Like there's certain things I like, but.
But something that is true, Saitama, where I'm at, I only have literally one episode of season 2 of One Punch Man to go. But as far as they never break the whole, he can't kill somebody with one punch. He can kill all of his enemies in one punch still. Like that's never changed.
Well, yeah,
which I like.
They would defeat the purpose of the show if they did.
Yeah. But what I mean is, like I think it's, like, in Season 1 even, like, the aliens show up, and he literally, can kill this giant alien monster in one punch.
Yeah. And then, like, granted, the final boss of Season 1, he kills in more than one punch, but that's because he was holding back in order to make it more interesting.
Yeah, and I just think that it's funny, because that kind of implies that he's the strongest man in the universe.
Mm-hmm. I like
just because he had a basic workout skill.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love his explanation too.
Yeah, where he's literally yelling it like it's this big inspirational speech, but it's literally impossible. And it's just like, so it just means like something beyond his even understanding is why he has that ability.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely not because he just worked out.
Yeah, dude, I love One Punch Man. Like I said, I'm not like, for instance, like, I liked My Hero Academia for a while, but I got tired of it, because it just kind of gets repetitive and boring to me.
One Punch Man definitely does it better.
Oh, One Punch Man is so much better, because My Hero Academia is not a parody of superheroes or a critique of it, it's just a superhero shonen anime.
Also, Saitama's just not caring about it. Saitama just not caring about anything going on around him is great.
I fucking love that one episode where, I can't remember how the line goes, right, but they're like, will you come with us, Saitama? And he's like, yes, and he gets all serious, and he's like, because I have nothing better to do.
It's almost like the perfect power trip kind of anime.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, but also at the same time, it's kind of infuriating because he doesn't get any recognition for anything.
Yeah, but as he says, he's a superhero for fun.
Yeah. And I like that that's also pretty consistent, because he's also, like, Season 2 basically just becomes, like, sort of, he gains more and more followers and friends and stuff, and it feels like a pretty typical anime.
Yeah.
And the satire's barely there, because Saitama's barely there.
That's lame.
Yeah, because they focus on, like, all these other side characters that are not nearly as interesting as the main characters from Season 1.
I was gonna say, like, if they focus on, like, Moomin Rider and fucking Genos, I'd like that, because those are good characters, but...
Oh, but there is a character that they do explain. There is a character that actually is from Season 1 very briefly, like, he's in, like, one moment of Season 1. But he becomes, like, a more developed character in Season 2, which is
Slim
whatever, I
Shady.
don't remember his name. He's like a big buff dude with, like, 3 scars over one eye, though.
Okay.
But in Season 1, when they show him, they show that he's like he's thinking about everything going on in the room while his heart is beating really loudly.
Uh-huh.
And like everybody says that's his thing, is like there's a loud thumping noise that's heard whenever he's around. But the reason that he has that loud thumping noise is because he actually isn't a real superhero and isn't actually capable of fighting monsters, and that he's actually been taking credit for all of Saitama's kills.
Oh.
Like he's just been coincidentally there whenever Saitama kills something, and people start praising him as the hero, and they start developing it. And he actually has like this really good moment where he has a memory of Saitama giving another inspirational thing that Saitama does like all the time now.
Okay. Well, that extreme coincidence made me think of this. There's not really a lot of relation other than extreme coincidence. But I know you've at least read the first Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know the pot of petunias, like the flowers that break when they go to Magrathea, like how they use the improbability drive to turn the missiles into a pot of petunias and a whale?
Yeah.
And how, like, it gives you an in-depth look at the whale's thoughts, but then it, for the pot of petunias, it says its last thought was, oh no, not again.
Yeah.
They explain that in the third book, and the explanation they give is the funniest shit to me, because it introduces this character called Agrajag, who's, he keeps reincarnating, but every time he reincarnates, he incidentally gets killed by Arthur Dent, and so, like, the pot of petunias was one of his reincarnations. So, Arthur Dent's the main character, the Earthling.
Oh, okay. And then there's the guy who in the book is like a curly-headed, like, I think, like, tall guy, but in, like, the movie's like a black man.
Yeah, you're thinking of Ford Prefect, and, the movie, I honestly don't like what they did with him, because they, like, made him really weird in the movie. Like, first off, I don't...
Yeah, he seemed like he seemed like a very different character in the book.
Well, like, because the thing is, it's so, like, a lot of people who are familiar with hitchhikers are not gonna... Like, if they're going to be like, oh, you're wrong, I'm going to explain why I'm right here in a second. But Ford kind of is a snarky smartass in the books and the radio series, whereas in the movie, they just made him weird and awkward, and, like, not understand what's going on.
What they did to Willy Wonka.
I don't follow.
Willy Wonka was originally a sarcastic, and then became just a weirdo.
In the Johnny Depp one, sure, because he's sarcastic as hell in the Gene Wilder one.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's why I love the Gene Wilder one so much more, and why I think you're wrong on that, but...
No, I was just saying that
I know.
In that movie he was sarcastic, and then another one he was weird.
Yeah. Stop. Help. He's so apathetic to a kid being, like, horribly mutilated in his machines.
That part is so, like, actually terrifying, though, when you think about it, because he's getting sucked up through a straw.
Yeah.
With, like, all that chocolate that's jamming up his rectum.
Yeah, but anyway, as I was saying, so in Hitchhikers, the reason I say that people might, like, try to correct me or something is because, like, I've always thought Ford was kind of sarcastic, but people are going to be like, but in the books, it says that his kind doesn't understand sarcasm. Okay, but that's just patently not true, because both him and Zaphod make sarcastic remarks throughout the whole series, and Zaphod is also Beetlejuicean. So to try and say, just because the book in one line says that sarcasm isn't a concept they understand, that's bullshit, because they use it all the time, in the radio series especially.
So what you're saying is the book is poorly written.
No, I wouldn't say that.
So what you're really saying is, that's something that liberals do a lot.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Do a lot, so what you're really saying is, and then they say, like, the craziest thing ever.
No, that's why we did it in Burt Cocaine.
It literally, I just think that's so funny, though. Because they do that to Jordan Peterson all the time, and it's, like, so far from what he actually believes that it just comes across as comical.
Yeah.
I like Jordan Peterson.
He's cool. I do like Kermit Man, too.
He actually, like, in all interviews, I've seen, like, he has, like, an actual Kermit doll in, like, his bag or something.
Yeah, because he just embraced the meme.
Yeah.
That he sounds like Kermit.
He actually, like, I think he, like, actually gets, like, stuff as gifts from people.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I think a fan probably gave it to him.
Because he has, like, a lot of students that really respect him.
He's a respectable guy. He's one of the smartest people I've seen talk on TV.
Before he became famous, he had lots of students that respect him.
Yeah. He's a smart cookie.
Well, he's a human, but yeah.
Well, human, cookie, tomato, tomato.
He's a human being.
He loves you as a person, as a human being.
Are you sucking on a lighter?
I might be.
Well, you should start biting it, too.
I have been. I've been chewing on it, and it's, like, got teeth marks on it, because I've been chewing on it for, like, a week.
Start chewing harder.
Harder. You remember that thing on Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 3?
Oh, yeah, the little like, animal, he goes, harder!
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's getting pet, and then the yellow guy's like, I love this tree, and I love this stick, and I love this. Everyone's got a special one.
Even Malcolm. No, it's Michael. Is it Malcolm or Michael? It's Malcolm, right?
I think it's Michael.
It is Michael, that's right. And this is the story of Michael, the ugliest boy in town. So
this is the story of
I just like how the story just ends with him living on his own underground, and they're like, even he has a special one, which he doesn't, very clearly in the story we just saw.
Yeah. Maybe the special one is himself.
Oh.
Or maybe the special one's not his friends that he made all along the way.
Yeah, the real special one was the friends we made along the way.
Except he didn't make friends along the way.
Yeah, I know. Sucks to be him.
You win some, you'll lose some.
Easy come. So you know how whenever you say something I find unfunny, I respond with RDRR?
Yes.
I started doing that to my friend as well. Like, every time he says something I find not funny, I'll just say out loud RDRR. And he has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
RD. Yeah, whenever you say RDRR, I imagine that girl getting really close to the camera doing this.
Yeah, of course. As you should.
Yeah, that one. And then in that episode, basically he wants to read a comic book, and then the teacher's like, no, don't read that comic book. Like, nerds reading a comic book isn't a thing.
We used it last week in a play we did about illiteracy.
It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, because you have to be literate to read a damn comic book.
Like, I don't understand how a comic book is illiterate.
It's not. You have to be able to fucking read to read it, so that just doesn't make sense.
At my job, though, it's like mandatory for me to ask people if they want to donate to literacy to round up their total to the $1.
Okay.
But they keep thinking, like, I have to actually say, it'll round up to the nearest dollar, because everybody's like, round up to what? And it's like, and I'm just sick of people asking me that.
You know, round up, like you go out and you round up all the sheep and throw them in the pen.
That's what I should say. Anyways, about round, like, but I literally have to ask that every time.
Uh-huh.
And usually they're like, illiteracy? What is that? And I say,
the
irony. It's a little ironic, but...
Do you actually say that?
Yeah, I say it's a little ironic you ask.
That's funny. Do they get offended when you say that?
No, I just explain it to them, and they're like, huh, okay. You know, because they're old and stupid, and generally uneducated. But it's not because they were redneck conservatives.
No, it's not.
Because they're poor.
I know plenty of redneck conservatives that actually know what the hell they're talking about, you know what I mean? And I also know plenty of poor people that know what the hell they're talking about, so I don't think it's either of those. Maybe there's something in the water where you live.
I believe that's fish.
Today's fish is trout a la creme. Enjoy your meal.
I want to eat a fish with its head still on.
I do that all the time. Not all the time, but I have done it. There's this Mexican restaurant.
Don't count, Angelo.
I hate sardines. Ew.
I know you do.
Yeah, I did a video about them. Like 5 years ago.
And in that video, you ate some spicy peppers.
No, that's a different video.
Did you say so?
I ate sardines in the sardine video. And I don't think spicy peppers were some of the things we had in that one. We just had a bunch of stuff we bought at Big Lots.
Are you sure that's not the one you had, that ghost pepper?
I've never had a ghost pepper on the channel.
Oh, not a ghost pepper. What kind of pepper was it?
I've had a Scorpion Trinidad. I've had a, what's it called? Carolina Reaper.
Carolina Reaper, I might be one of
That was it. The Carolina Reaper was its own video.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And I had 2 Carolina Reapers to show that I'm better than Danny.
I don't know your life.
I think the worst spicy challenge I did was either the Death Nut or the Toe of Satan. Probably the Toe of Satan, since it gave me literal blisters in my mouth. But the Death Nut made my face numb.
Death Nut is what happens when I have sex with old women.
There you go.
Really
Speaking
sad.
of, check this out. There's a new updated version.
Alright.
It's even hotter. I'm gonna hate it.
3.0.
Yeah, I had the 2.0 last time.
That's one more than what you had last time.
Yes, good job, Corbin. You passed math.
No, I didn't.
You obviously did, though.
No, I didn't.
How'd you graduate, then? You have to pass math to graduate.
It is. So I guess I passed.
Yeah.
I didn't pass accurately. My teachers just did the work for me.
Oh. And in exchange, you put in a little after-class work, if you know what I'm saying.
Sometimes life is disappointing. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Sometimes you gotta bite the bullet and do it.
Yep. And by it, I mean really old women.
And you give them the good old death nut.
Yeah. It all comes back around.
It's all come full circle, eh, Torque?
I sure came full circle.
Professor Oak, he came.
And it was easy come. You know, because old women are typically pretty easy. Those cock teases.
What's your favorite?
Angelo, I heard this funny joke in Family Guy.
Okay.
Why do women have boobs?
So you have something to look at when you're talking to them. What's your favorite Simpsons episode?
That's a hard question. I've never really watched a Simpsons episode and thought this is the best episode of all time.
I know what my favorite is.
There's lots of... I can name episodes I like. Like, I liked that one where Bart can't go in the pool because his leg's broken.
Oh, Bart of Darkness.
Yeah, and he's spying on the neighbor. We talked about that episode. We talked about that episode like a lot, actually. Now I think
it's a good one.
Yeah, and I like that episode. I like that Halloween special, you know, where they parody like several several horror things in one episode, you know.
That's every Treehouse of Horror. That's every single Treehouse of Horror.
I know.
No, but my favorite episode is a Treehouse of Horror. My favorite episode is Treehouse of Horror 5. That's the one that has the shinning, Time and Punishment, and Nightmare Cafeteria.
Yeah, because I like that part where he goes, where he...
You mean Shining. You want to get sued?
When he's talking to Marge, where he's like doing the "Give me the bat" scene.
Give me the bat. Give me the bat. Give me the bat. Ha ha ha. Scaredy cat. Ah! And then he falls down the stairs.
Yeah. I like that scene. And then like the all work and wait, no, it's like a
no TV and no beer. No TV and no beer.
No TV and no beer makes Homer something.
Go crazy? Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, that's the part I was thinking. Yeah, I love that one.
Homer, kill your family, I'll give you a beer. Why? They'd be much happier as ghosts. You don't seem so happy. Oh, I'm happy. Look at me. La 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 la. See? I also just like that Groundskeeper Willie gets killed by an axe in the back in all 3 segments in that one.
I also like that episode where Bart is trying really hard not to get an F on his test so that he can graduate or whatever.
Yeah, that's Bart Gets an F. That's a really good one.
Yeah, Bart Gets an F is another one of my favorites.
In all honesty, like, Season 2 is my favorite season because I like that it actually has, like, emotion to it. Like, it's not just, like, a sitcom. It actually feels like there's drama, there's even a little tiny sprinkle of tragedy, there's sadness. Like, it's genuinely very good and heartfelt. I love Season 2.
And then in the later seasons, you get, like, the Lisa Simpson singing, "Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy."
Does that happen?
What?
Does that happen?
Yes. They literally sing that full song. They sing the full song. All the Simpsons characters do.
God, The Simpsons is so bad.
And they have, like, cell phones and sunglasses.
Oh, I mean, I do know that there's that really bad line where, like, Lisa falls in a hamper and Bart takes a picture of it and he's like, haha, epic sister fail, and then he posts it online.
Ew.
Yeah, it's so bad. The Simpsons is awful now. And then on top of that, they went woke.
Honestly, maybe a poo should... something as good as a poo shouldn't be in it.
Well, like, again, the show's completely gone woke now. Like, they've recast a bunch of people. And, like, a lot of the writing is just, like, super focused on, like, current event stuff now, and it's really bad.
Teach all those white men that are keeping... What are white men doing to the other races again?
What?
What do they think we're doing?
Fuck if I know. We're bad. We're oppressive. I don't know.
What is it that? What's their argument for us being evil again?
If you want, do you want me to give you a real answer or a meme answer?
Any answer.
Okay. Well, what they claim is they believe in something called systemic racism, which just I don't think patently exists. Which they say, because there were racist laws in place back in the past, even though we got rid of those laws, we're still feeling the effect of them to this day, because we never completely, so let's say, hypothetically, there was a law that said, black men can't read, right? I mean, there was, but that's a different thing. Because that, like, even though that they're allowed to read now, they say that there's still systemic racism because we didn't teach them to read, even though we made it so they could. Something like that. But...
Right, but they shouldn't be able to read, because then they'll find out about that stuff our ancestors did and kill us.
No, but, like, it's so stupid. Like, they act like... Like, if anything, to me, I find people who believe in this quote-unquote systemic racism to be actual racists themselves, because they have such low expectations for black people. They think black people just can't figure stuff out. Doesn't make any sense.
Also, I think that... I don't really get why people feel the need to speak for all the people in a group.
Yeah, I don't get it. Well, and again, that's racist too, because you're literally just applying like things to a group of people based on arbitrary traits that don't fucking matter.
Also, I think it's a little weird how encouraged it is. I mean, like, I think it's a little weird how encouraged being a transgender is when it's statistically proven that nobody's happy with being a transgender. Like,
right?
They kill themselves so frequently, and the ones that don't kill themselves are really depressed, so I don't see why anybody would want to do that.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. Like,
it's something that we can see for ourselves doesn't work, and then just do it because it's nice, I guess.
Well, that's the problem, is people are too nice now. They're so concerned about hurting other people's feelings, they don't want to do things that will actually genuinely benefit people. We've become a society of enablers that whenever someone has a mental illness, we just say, hey, that's cool, we should embrace that and just enable your mental illness so that you don't get better. I think that's why Chris Chan turned out the way he did.
Well, also, I think Chris Chan turned out the way he did because his...
Trolls?
Parents, I'd say mostly, actually.
Well, yeah, his parents are absolutely to blame. His parents are absolutely to blame. Well, I think there's many people to blame in Chris Chan's situation. There's his parents, there's himself, obviously, there's his trolls, and I do think also just kind of society in general with the way that we just kind of enable everything now.
I think Chris Chan's father would have been a good parent if Chris Chan didn't have autism, but I don't think Chris Chan's father really knew how to deal with autism in any way.
Yeah, exactly. Bob Chandler is the one person I actually feel like sorry for in his whole story.
Because at least he tried.
Yeah.
But the mother didn't really try at all, and wasn't she, like, abusive?
Yes. That's why, and like, everybody gets so upset because of what Chris did to her, but I honestly... I don't care, because she was such a cunt to him to begin with. She's the reason he's the way he is.
Sort of a poetic tragedy.
Yeah, like, people say, yeah, but she doesn't deserve this, and yeah, that's true, but I also don't care.
Yeah, because if it's the product of... it's literally her product that she suffered from.
It's the monster she created.
Yeah, her Frankenstein.
But unlike Frankenstein, it wasn't a cool monster dug up from corpses.
Yeah. It was the one that rapes his mom.
Who do you think smells worse? Who do you think smells worse, Frankenstein's monster or Chris Chan?
Well, you'll have to cover up Frankenstein with Axe spray to really compare the two. I still really, really like that joke you made before about Chris Chan going back to GameStop after finding out that Sonic has blue arms in the movie. Coming back to the GameStop and spraying the guy for the same reason all over again.
Yeah, it'd be funny.
Although he'd have to break out of prison now. Except that he's probably not going to go to prison.
Corbin, which prison do you think he would go to, men's or women's?
I hope women's.
Me too. I mean, at that point, his love quest is complete.
That would actually be really funny if he went to women's prison. Oh my god, oh my god, what if they make a documentary about him when he's in prison? Oh my god, it would be so good. Orange is the New Black, but with Chris Chan.
Oh yeah, have you heard all those news reports where people talk about Chris Chan, and they clearly know fuck all about him because they think his last name is literally Chan, so they'll refer to him as Chan?
That's something.
Yeah.
They literally don't call him Chris Chandler?
Yeah, they don't realize his name is Chandler. They think his literal legal name is Chris Chan.
Like he's an anime girl?
No, I don't know. I guess like Jackie Chan. I don't know.
They think he's Asian?
Maybe.
Maybe he told them he was Asian.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought that's so funny that they explained to those poor cops about Sonichu.
Yeah. I like when he's like, frisk me. Oh, there you go.
I like that part where he's like, I'm complying, as you can see, and like I don't know what. Then all those. Oh, somebody was yelling. Oh yeah, that one person yelled, "You completed your love quest."
Yeah.
But I mean, really, he completed his love quest with that prostitute. Really, if you want to be technical, but.
Yeah. Because
I mean, I guess that was like the whole point was just sex. It wasn't really much of a love quest.
Dude, I miss old school Chris Chan though. He was such a.
He actually was. He wasn't like an unlikable person, I don't think in his 20s for me. Like, I actually didn't think he was that unlikable.
Yeah, but he was a super condescending prick, which granted I thought was funny, but...
Yeah, it's funny though, yeah. I would... I don't know, I'm biased. I'm biased when it comes to that though, because there are people that are like condescending jerks that I don't like too, though. I guess it just depends.
Yeah.
Because I think there's just have to be a likableness to the person in general for that to actually, like if somebody is unlikable and a jerk, which I know that sounds contradicting, but I think there are plenty of likable jerks and there are plenty of unlikable jerks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keemstar, I think Keemstar is a bit of a likable jerk.
Oh yeah, he's grown on me in recent years. Like, in all honesty, I honestly don't think Keemstar is that bad of a guy. Like, there's some things he's done that I really don't like, but
yeah.
And I'm not the biggest fan of his content. But as a person, I don't have a problem with him. I actually think he's pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people that like say he's such a jerk and stuff like don't realize that he's not a jerk necessarily in my eyes. He's just a normal person who's rich.
Yeah. Well, you know what's really funny? You know how he had that 20-year-old girlfriend that people were giving him shit about?
Yeah.
Well, apparently they broke up, and he's like, I'm single again, now accepting applications. And chicks literally started sending him applications to go out with him.
That sounds awesome.
And, like, because he did another tweet, he's like, oh my god, they're literally sending applications.
That sounds awesome. Also, I like how he cannot be bothered by anything you throw at him.
Yeah.
He just finds a way to make it funny to him.
I mean, let's be fair, he was pretty sensitive when he did that Why Am I Still Getting Hate video.
I guess. Wait, which video was that?
No, he's like, why am I still getting hate? I have debunked everything that's been said about me. And he's like screaming at the camera.
It's at the same time though with Keemstar I kind of get it, because at some point I feel like at some point it would be infuriating for anybody, because he does get an insane amount of hate for somebody. Like, he's right a lot more often than he's wrong.
Yeah. And to be fair, I think a lot of the stuff that was said about him back during like some of the initial drama with like Leafy and stuff, I think a lot of that was exaggerated.
Also, I think you can call somebody a jerk, but he's clearly had many friendships in his career.
Well, and something I respect the hell out of for Keemstar is, like, when YouTubers lose their channels, a lot of the times he's gone out of his way to help them get them back.
Yeah, that's, like, his thing.
Yeah.
So I don't see why, yeah, he's a jerk in the same way anybody's a jerk. I feel like it's I don't know, people don't like to look at every aspect of it.
They don't like to see him as a person.
Yeah. I don't know why people do that.
Like, I think he's cocky and arrogant, but I actually really like those aspects about him.
Yeah, I don't see why people can't see, like, the funniness in that, like, how, like, or, like, even the entertainment in it. Like, why wouldn't you, like, life would be dull if you weren't at least, if nobody was cocky, if nobody was self-absorbed.
Yeah, if there wasn't any narcissists, the world would be boring.
If there were more narcissists, the world would be a better place.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
We also need... So wait, what's the, like, when you really think about, like, about socialism, and, like, whenever I try to think about it, like, the simplest way I can, so it's just people don't want to work, right? That's just, like... No,
I think that is a...
So, but I should still make money for not working.
That's part of it.
The appeal of it.
That's part of the appeal. Yeah, that's what people fall into, but that's definitely an oversimplification.
I think that's why I think like the other stuff is just trying to make it seem like they are intelligent about it, but really I think they just want that.
No, but the thing is in a socialist society, in a truly like actual like socialist, ultimate socialist society, you'd have to work because you don't own anything. The only way you get stuff is by contributing what you can. Like, if you're giving, like if we go to full-on communism, which is, like, the ultimate form of socialism, you only get to eat if you provide. Like, it's from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. So everyone has to work who can to help give shit to everyone else. Fuck that.
Yeah, but that's not what people say socialism is, right?
Because they don't, like, people try to appeal it by making all this dumb shit to, like, try and make it seem so appealing. And the problem is it's gotten into our school systems where everyone is just taught at a young age that it's such a great thing. But it's fundamentally immoral because you're taking from someone to give to someone else. And on top of that, What's up?
All I was saying was I just think it's a little silly to want to make money for not doing the work, but expect other people to work for money.
Right.
Doesn't make sense, because that's not a perfect society. There's still people that have to work.
Mm-hmm.
You just and you think that, okay, so less people have to work in this society, but who are those less people? Are you those less people? Because somebody's going to be forced to work. Will it still be you?
Yeah, if you're able-bodied, absolutely, it's going to be you.
Yeah, so I don't get what
I mean,
doesn't make sense.
Look, you think you're going to go into a socialist society and you're going to fucking make, like, let's say you want to be a communist and you want to, like, actually make art and poetry and do music and shit. Guess what you're going to be doing? Crushing rocks. That's what you're going to fucking be doing.
It's like they're handing out the jobs and they go, okay, we need a rock crusher. Line up for the rock crushers. Get the rock crushers.
But yeah, I think a lot of people, they just like the appeal. Because the thing is it's very easy to appeal to emotion when you're like, oh, we want to help people and just, hey, what's wrong with helping people? Why doesn't everyone deserve basic, living situations? But when you break it down, it just doesn't work that way. It only sounds good as an emotional appeal to someone who actually wants to help others. Which is why I think it's better to fundamentally, like, I do think it's good to help others to an extent, but I think ultimately you should look after yourself and your own family and stuff. I think that's really what you should do.
You know what I think really says something about them, though, is they want the government to pay for all these ideas they have, but they're not willing to work for the money to provide for people themselves.
Right. Well, and that's why I don't get the idea of people who are, like, claiming to be anarchists who also embrace socialism, because you need a government to distribute the wealth. How does that even work?
Yeah.
Like, how would that be anarchy?
Because they just want to object to what the norm is. That's really the whole point.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I remember when I was younger, I was into socialism back when I was a teenager. Like, I started to get into it and, like, think it was a good thing. But then I grew the fuck up.
My dad's always trying to, like, make socialism seem like such a big solver of problems to me. Like, he keeps trying to convince me of
well, do you know what a bread line is?
What?
Do you know what a bread line is?
What is it?
It's literal lines that go on for miles where people are in line waiting to get their bread. Because in socialism, you pick up the food with your rations, and you get it that way. Like, again, this is, like, extreme socialism. Like, obviously, socialist countries don't often, like, go to this extreme right away, but there are bread lines in socialist countries, and the food is rationed out. I mean, I do think the biggest example to look at is North Korea. Like, granted, that's like, people always try to say, well, that's not true socialism or true communism or whatever, right? Guess what? They say that about every socialist country that fails, which is ultimately every socialist country fails at some point. There has never been one that has succeeded.
I think the socialism could work if it's led by a god.
Yeah, okay, a
Other
literal
than that,
god,
I don't see it working.
Yeah. But the whole thing,
unless it's run by somebody who's perfect in every single way, then I think it could work.
Dude, like Kim Jong-un.
Doesn't have a butthole.
But yeah, there's also, like, one of the big things I hate about socialism, right, is, like, they're like, oh, but private property shouldn't exist. No, fuck you. Get the fuck away from my stuff, bitch. I earned this.
I think it's so crazy that everybody's like, who's the bald rich guy that everybody's mad at right now?
Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, where everybody's saying, like, Jeff Bezos is evil, he's a villain because he's spending all this money so he can go to space himself and all this. But it's like, if he has enough money to go to space, why can't he go to space?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, granted, I think Jeff Bezos is a piece of shit, but not for that reason. I think the man should go to space. Fuck it. I don't care. Go for it.
Yeah, I just don't see why he's a villain for that simple thing, because that's what I see in videos whenever.
Yeah.
Whenever I have seen videos, that's what everybody's talking about.
Like Jeff Bezos, I have all sorts of problems with, right? Because he's the guy who owns Amazon. He treats his employees like shit. He pushes socialist ideas while he himself is like a super capitalist, so it makes no fucking sense.
Same with Elon Musk, though, where people are saying, like, Elon Musk is spending all this money on his own, like, fun projects when we want all this, like, actual important stuff. But it's like, what? Why?
It's his
Why
fucking
is he
money.
Obligated to give you what you want? Why can't he have fun? He's a rich genius. Why can't he have his fun?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see, like, what's the point of being a rich genius if it doesn't benefit you?
Right? And, like I mean, granted, Elon Musk says some stupid shit sometimes, too. Like, Elon Musk thinks that we should have universal basic income, which I think is a fundamentally flawed ideal.
Well, you know what? Maybe Elon Musk might be a real bad guy, but in Rick and Morty, there's an alternate dimension version of Elon Musk named Elon Tusk.
I see.
Who's like Elon Musk, but he has tusks. Now that, I think, has integrity.
There you go. Well,
I literally like the line, though, in it where Rick says, "Come on, can't you do something?" And he goes, "You do realize that I'm not any different than the regular Elon Musk, except that I have tusks." Rick and Morty's a little mixed, because it's, I wish it had some level of Rick's character doesn't have any consistency. Because he makes fun of, like, childish things when he himself is very childish. He is constantly, like, shifting from being, like, an actual caring, to actually caring about his family to not caring about his family at all, and that whole thing's a big inconsistency. I don't know, I just don't get, like, I don't get what they're trying to, like, because clearly they're trying to make it seem like he's complicated and all this, but it doesn't come across like he's complicated to me. It just comes across like they don't know what they're doing with it.
There's a difference between a person being complex and a person being convoluted and not making sense and inconsistent.
Because it doesn't seem like that he's having an inner battle with himself or any of this crap. It looks like he's just constantly changing.
You know what I think it is? I think different writers have different ideas for him and they conflict with each other since the show has so many writers on it.
Especially since, like, Season 3, I think, had, like, feminist-only writers.
Yeah, that's why Season 3 sucked.
Season 3 was very good. Like, that Pickle Rick episode that was stupid, that whole episode was supposed to be like, oh, look, a female psychiatrist dominated Rick. Look, she proved she outwitted him and outsmarted him. It was literally written to be, like, a power fantasy for, like, a self-insert female character thing.
Yeah.
It's dumb. Although I will admit, I think Season 3 was the one that had that episode where he removes his toxic, like, where they remove, like, the toxic parts of themselves. And I feel like that episode was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that one was decent.
I also think it's funny because, like, they remove what they think is toxic, so Rick's toxic self loves Morty. Mm-hmm. I thought that actually was in good detail.
Yeah. I love Morty. And I hope Morty
loves me. He says, like, I want to be inside him, or, like, I want him to be, I can't remember, but it's, like, gross.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, the principal and, like, the principal and, like, the teacher are both, like, chasing him in the hallway. Also, I like how that one part where Rick gets mad at Morty, and he's like, don't blame me for this, Morty, you're the one that wanted to roofie that girl, and he's freaking out at him. I don't know what, I feel like Rick, they kind of make him too serious of a character right now, because he's not, like, as goofy as he was in Season 1.
They're probably trying to appeal to the fact that every cartoon now kind of becomes a dramedy.
Yeah.
Which, granted, I love dramedies, don't get me wrong, dramedies are one of my favorite types of cartoon, but... And just show in general, you know?
Yeah, but I would like his character to be consistent.
Yeah.
Even if they want to be a dramedy, the character has to still be, like, the same character.
Yeah. It's like in Game of Thrones Season 8. In that season, none of the characters are themselves. They're all just completely different characters.
Because originally Rick was supposed to be funny in the sense that I could laugh at him and with him. Now, it's not really laughing at Rick. It's more about just, oh yeah, man, if I was in that position, it would be so cool. Like, it feels like sort of a power trip kind of thing going on with his character, but it doesn't work because he's, like, also supposed to be hated. Like, you're supposed to hate him, but you're also supposed to want to be him.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they're going in a good direction with the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it was Season 2, I think, that has, like, my least favorite episode.
Same! Fucking Get Swifty. I fucking hate that episode.
Yeah. Get Swifty's not a very good episode. The song, I don't get it, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I thought the religious stuff was kind of funny, I guess. Even then, not.
I feel like it's just kind of commentary that's been done before and been done better.
I will say that one guy had a good point, though. They're screaming heads in the sky, I'm praying to them.
Fair.
Also, I think it's funny that Summer became a crazy cult lady in that episode.
You ever seen that Newgrounds porn game of Rick and Morty?
No.
I think it's called, like, A Way Back Home or something like that.
I know what it's called.
Oh, then you have seen it. Liar. Boo and boo.
There's a giant contradiction in this episode. Corbin just said that he hadn't seen it.
Actually...
Actually. According to my calculation.
I like how we had that nerd character in 2 separate Sergeant Friends episodes. Or not necessarily the same character, but the same joke. And we did like the same joke in the 2 different episodes without remembering that we did that, just like we did with the Ooga Chaka thing, and they were both like the same episodes too. So we reused a lot of jokes in those 2 episodes.
I mean, to be fair, isn't that what a
recurring joke?
Callback is?
Yeah, there you go.
Or yeah, reoccurring joke.
I think it worked out.
I didn't think it was so funny.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was so funny.
You've got some spaghetti on your overalls.
Hey, fuck you, Luigi.
You. I like that. Plum-ins are game.
Did I ever tell you about the first time I saw, like, someone upload that video of, you know, the, hey, fuck you, Luigi? Like, granted, they uploaded the scene of, you know, you got spaghetti on your overalls, and that's what the video was called, the spaghetti on your overalls. But, like, in the description of the video, the guy put, Mario says, thank you, Luigi. Any comments to the contrary will be banned. Because I guess he got bombarded with people saying, fuck you, Luigi.
I like that one, that other, I don't remember what language it is, but the swing your arms out and out. Sex, oh yes.
Yeah, that's...
Martian Mario.
It's German. It's German.
Just for gays.
Yeah, that's the German version.
It sounds so much like he's saying it.
Dude, I love the German versions of cartoon intros. Like, I always use, like, the German... Like, I love the German intro of, Butt Ugly Martians. I don't know why, but I fucking love it. Like, I remember I played it in that video I did where I destroyed that copy of Sakura Diaries.
It's funny, though, because German dubs are almost exactly how I would imagine them in my head, because, like, whenever I think of Germans, I think of big, angry gibberish. And that's what I get with dubs, is angry gibberish.
P-H-M! P-H-M!
That's like
Wir sind Marsianer, die Bald ugly Martians. Wir sind Marsianer.
Yeah.
These Germans, I'll have you know, they've decided to wage 2 wars. And you know who they've waged those wars on?
The world.
The world, yeah. They literally challenged the world to 2 fights and almost won both times.
You remember that Family Guy thing where Brian has the dumb girlfriend and she's like, I saw this thing on TV about Hitler. Somebody should stop him.
When Hitler screamed all that angry gibberish, I really thought, this guy seems the way to go. I don't want to start a war.
I just want a hoverboard. We don't want to conquer Earth. I just want to fill my girth. We are the Martians, the butt ugly Martians. I love that show. It's so stupid, but I love it.
That actually is a good song.
You know who my favorite character in Butt Ugly Martians is?
Is it that one green one with the big head?
No. I'm not even sure I know what you're
Are they even green? They aren't. Are they green?
None of them are green.
None of them are green.
None of the main characters, anyway. They're all blue. I think there are some green aliens in other episodes, but they're not like main characters. No, but my favorite character is
What would you do if in an episode? Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say my favorite character is Stolt Muldoon. He's the guy who hunts the aliens.
What if in one episode of Butt Ugly Martians, the Republican Space Rangers showed up and horribly killed everyone?
That'd be funny. Well, you know that...
Not for Luigi, but yeah.
Yeah, not for Luigi. He didn't think it was so funny. Well, like I said, you do know that Republican Space Rangers was part of what made Sergeant Bastard a character. Like, granted, I had already kind of come up with the idea like a couple of years before, but Republican Space Rangers is where I really started to define it because I had played GTA 5.
See, Angela keeps insisting that, like, Sergeant Friends is inspired by all this stuff, but really it's just inspired by Fat Bastard from Austin Powers.
Yes, the thing that has nothing to do with it other than the name. God, what a retarded comment for him to make. I don't even care if he sees it at this point. Fuck him. He's not gonna watch this. And if he does, he's not gonna remember because he's fucking retarded.
No, I would never say anything bad about him. I'm just a nice guy like that.
You're such a sweet guy, Corbin.
Yeah. I would say I probably am not a very nice person in general.
Yeah,
I guess I'm nice to people who are nice to me and aren't stupid, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
But isn't that like
There
true
you go.
for like any human?
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm nice to people I like and I'm mean to people I don't like.
Who'da thunk it?
I do like
Although, to be honest, I'm not even nice to people I like a lot of the time. Like, the more I like you, the more willing I am to be a dick and belittle you. There's someone on the wing. Something.
On the wing. Oh wait, is that what he's saying when he's in the pool?
No.
What is he? What in Ace Ventura? Like he gets like really close to the when he gets like really close.
Yeah, he says, "I just can't do it, Captain. She doesn't got the power."
Oh yeah. And then at the end of the movie, I like the part where he turns the girl around. He's like, "Say hello to Mr. Twinkie" or something like that.
This is why Roger Protector's dead. He found Captain Winky.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
was. I don't know. I've seen it since I was like 10.
You know, nowadays people, we should do a RedEye theater on it.
Yeah.
Nowadays people call that movie transphobic because they're pussies.
How was it transphobic? You just revealed that she was the person.
No, but like they say it's transphobic because like when everyone finds out she was actually a man and then they like they made out with her, they start like puking because they kissed a man.
Call me a little crazy, but I'm a little phobic to the idea of men with their wieners tucked behind their back that look like women kissing me. I gotta say.
Why on earth would he keep the dick and put it on his ass? That makes no sense to me. Who does that?
I wouldn't feel comfortable at all.
Like, that always confused me about that scene, because I don't think any, like, actual person who's had a sex change has ever, like, kept it, let alone put it on their ass.
No, I keep mine in it. How much do you think... wait, where can you buy a Nazi uniform?
I don't know.
Jeez, I thought you would know. You know? Since that's like your circles. I mean, who else am I going to ask? I don't have any other Nazi friends.
Yeah, I don't think you can buy Nazi uniforms on a lot of websites because, you know...
I called you a Nazi.
I know you did. Bastard.
Wasn't an insult.
To think you would call me a National Socialist.
It's so... How is it right-wing, exactly?
I don't know, dude. I guess culturally, they say, because those cultural views tend to be more right-wing. I don't fucking know. Like, it's clearly economically left when you think about it, because it's fucking socialism. But I guess the nationalist part of it makes it right-wing by stupid logic. Like, I don't think Nazism is actually right-wing. I think it's left-wing, but...
I think it's a little insulting that just because Hitler was a little bit funny-looking that the left won't accept him.
Yes, that's the only reason.
Look, man,
do you want to
it was a fashion statement of the time. I know that the small mustache isn't popular anymore, but back then it was, okay?
Do you know, I think that the main reason that the left doesn't like Hitler, they need a boogeyman. They need something to blame for all their problems. Like, granted, obviously, like, in all seriousness, Hitler's a piece of shit. He killed a ton of people.
That's how I think about, why I think so people hate Charles Manson, even though there's no evidence really behind anything that has been said about Charles Manson.
But, like, and by the way, Corbin, we're skirting the line. We're gonna we could get flagged for all the Nazi talk we've done in this video. I'm gonna post it as is. We'll see how it goes, but just to be clear,
Dude, it's fine.
These are all jokes, everyone. Just to be clear, I don't like Hitler. He was a socialist piece of shit who killed a ton of people.
Yep.
See?
Hitler killed a lot of people.
You know what I also don't get? A lot of people who will talk about how bad that is, obviously, right? They will ignore the fact that Mao killed more than Hitler and Stalin put together.
Wait, who was... My history school didn't tell me about this guy you bring up.
What, Mao?
Maybe they did. Tell me.
Mao was like the emperor of China.
There's literally tons of dead people in the Great Wall of China.
Okay.
You think the left would bring up that one guy, that one white guy that killed tons of black people, but they never really bring him up.
Which one?
There was I can't remember what his name was, but he was another one of those funny mustached white men.
But
I think that's why people are wrong. They're always like stereotyping white people as evil, but it's only the ones with the funny mustaches.
Yeah, there you go. No, but Mao was the emperor of China, right? And he killed like 80 to 120 million people or something like that. Like, he killed a fuck ton of people. But do you know why the left doesn't talk about Mao? Because he was a communist.
And Asian.
That too. But, like, Stalin was a communist too, and the left obviously won't talk about how bad he was either. And Stalin was also worse than Hitler.
I bet this Mao guy had a pretty good mustache.
Mao had no mustache.
That explains why nobody talks about him.
Well, they do talk about him, but they act like he's a good thing. Like, there was this teacher in California that recently got fired because he was exposed for having a bunch of communist propaganda in his classroom, and he had, like, a poster of Mao on the wall.
They took away that poor man's freedom of speech.
He's literally
and freedom to preach and teach.
Okay, but he's literally on the government's dime indoctrinating children. That's a little bit different when you're working for the government, for the people indoctrinating their children. That's not... Freedom of speech doesn't apply there, because he's still allowed to have those ideas and share them. But to take tax dollars and spread that shit to children as if it's fact is just wrong.
Do you think that our form of currency works?
No.
What do you think would be a better way to do it?
I don't have a solution. A lot of people say crypto. I'd say maybe crypto, but I'm not knowledgeable enough to actually talk about that. Like, I don't really know.
I feel like it almost needs to be as simplistic as...
Like bartering?
Trade. I feel like trade is just... I feel like that was a good idea because you got what you thought it was worth, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think that trade was a great system.
I think it works better than what we currently have, because what we currently have, like, why should the person I'm buying something from be able to decide it's not worth that to me? And buy something they want, I feel like...
I also think they should have the right to sell it for what they think it's worth, though, and if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it from them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is one person shouldn't have the complete right, you know, like, one person should be able to completely say, okay, here's all this stuff you can buy, give me this, this, and this. I think it should be two ways.
Oh yeah, like haggling, you mean? Sure, but I think ultimately if someone wants to sell something for a price, that's their right to do so. Because to try and restrict someone's, a right to sell something, I think that's just socialist.
I don't mean restrict people. I just think that one person shouldn't be like officially approved by the government to be like a,
What do you think? What are you on about? There's nothing like that. That's not a thing.
Let me think about it. What I mean is,
there's no one who says this is what a car is worth. I'm from the government. You must pay. That's socialism.
No. What I mean is, like, okay, so you can't just open up. You can't do work without getting approval already. You can't work without. You can't just set up a store. It has to be approved.
Okay. Now I understand what you're talking about. You mean government licensing and shit like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That shouldn't exist.
I don't know what it's called. I just know it makes my life harder.
Well, I don't know that it necessarily makes your life any harder at the moment.
No, I just mean, like, it makes my plans a lot harder. It makes me... If that wasn't a thing, my life would be a lot easier to plan.
Yeah, how are you going to sell your heroin without a government license?
Yeah, it's a darn shame. But let's not call it heroin in these videos, okay? So you think that... You would say that L was smarter than Light in Death Note, right?
I would say they're on the same level.
Because isn't that what everybody says that L is smarter than Light, but like...
Why didn't he win then?
Yeah, I don't get it.
No, I would not.
If he was smarter, he would have won.
Yeah, I wouldn't say L is smarter than Light. I would say that they were on the same level.
That's what everybody in the fan base says. Like, and not only do they say that L is smarter than Light, but they say that L is far more intelligent than Light. Like, he's way beyond it.
Okay, let me put it this way. I don't think L is smarter, but I think Light is more impulsive. Like, Light's more willing to act out of rage than L is.
Also, I don't think it's right that Light was outsmarted by some disciple of L. Like, I feel like that's really, like, anticlimactic.
Well, like, here's the thing. I think that, like, Nier beating Light was fucking stupid. Because I hate Nier. But I do like Mello. I do like Mello a lot. It took the combination of Nier and Mello to beat Light. Not to mention they were already using the information that L had already gathered. So it was a combination of the three of them. Like, Nier tries to say, oh, me and Mello together, we surpassed L. But it's like, you also used the data L already had, so no, you fucking didn't.
Yeah. You know, people say that Einstein fella is really smart, but he worked at the post office. I mean, imagine it's a little easy to take other people's ideas when you work at a post office.
He didn't work at a post office, he worked at a patent office.
A patent office?
Yeah.
You're being dumb.
Yeah, you are being dumb. Because a post office, it wouldn't make sense to steal people's ideas. So you're thinking of a patent office.
Yeah. I just got my words confused, and actually...
let me show you something, Corbin. Hold on, let me show you, because you mixing up words reminded me of this clip. Hold on. I love this video. It's so funny, because he's like... This is King Cobra JFS. I'm sure I've showed you him before. He's that lol cow that I watched, the autistic guy. This is the thing, where he literally calls fish a dairy product.
Yeah, because tomato, banana, pepper, the hamburger is just raw meat, you know. The bread cooked with wheat, the yogurt's cooked with protein in it, and the bread's, you know, a vegetable.
And he just called bread a vegetable, if you didn't notice, but...
Literally everything minus the fish, which should be in the dairy.
This guy seems like a lol cow. This guy seems like a troll cow.
No, he's not. Here, but you missed it. Hold on.
Literally everything minus the fish, which should be in the dairy, actually. So yeah, so this pretty much protein.
There's this extra dairy.
But like, look, his friend's arguing with him.
You have to correct me every fucking video I make.
Why the fuck would you think that fish is a dairy product? Does it come out of a cow?
It's protein with milk.
Milk, cheese, all that is dairy. Peanuts go into...
If he's hanging out with people like this, why isn't he getting smarter?
Maybe there's a slip of the tongue. It happens.
He's so defensive.
Okay, stop correcting me in every fucking video. I'm getting sick and tired of it.
He seems like an interesting character.
Oh, he is. I fucking love watching stuff about him. Like, because, like, he also thinks that he can do black magic and that he's, like, a powerful wizard and all this stuff. And he calls himself Gothic and, like, he's a hoot and a holler. He's a whole lot of stuff. He also did, like, this thing, like, he started to go fund me to buy a sex doll at one point. He's had 2 sex dolls, by the way, both of which he destroyed.
From usage?
That's what he claims with the first one. He claims that he tore it, but like, here's the thing. He claims he tore it, and then he got mad and cut it up into little pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just got angry that he was fucking it and, like, felt ashamed, so he cut it up. He also doesn't make any sense with, like, the way he just kind of trails off about stuff, because... He says a lot of both left and right-wing stuff and mixes it together and doesn't make a whole lot of sense with it. It's very incoherent.
I feel like whenever I get into like a state where literally nothing I'm saying is making sense and there's just nothing that can be gathered from it, I stop talking at some point.
Yeah, especially with me, because I call you out on your shit probably more than most people do.
Actually, that's not true. Most people do tell me to shut up.
Do they tell you to shut up, or do they point out the flaws in your logic? Because I point out the flaws in your fucking logic.
They tell me to shut up usually, but
yeah, well, that's not winning an argument. Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, but what I mean is I know that I know that at some point I have to stop because I can recognize if what I'm saying has been incoherent for like the past like 3 minutes, I'm gonna recognize it.
Yeah. Why the fuck would you think fish is a dairy product? Does it come from a cow?
It's like the one. What's the dumb lady that said?
This chicken I mean here is this fish.
Yeah.
It was Jessica Simpson. Dude, did you know? Apparently SpongeBob suffers from ligma. How sad.
Remember when Ninja was something people talked about?
Unfortunately.
Why was he a thing people talked about?
I don't fucking know, because he streamed Fortnite and, like, kids liked him because kids are retarded.
He doesn't have anything likable about him.
No, he's a fucking dick. I hate him.
Kids are dumb.
Like, he thinks that video games are, like serious shit. Like, he says if you were, like, just want to play games for having fun, then you're like, a bad person. You gotta be competitive and, like, take it super seriously. Cool.
So, the most annoying aspect of playing video games with children can be amplified.
Yeah.
Because that's the most that drives me crazy though with kids though, is that they always feel like if they're not winning, then it's a horrible, miserable experience.
Oh yeah. Look, I realized a long time ago that I'm bad at video games, so I just have fun. As you know, with all my live streams and how you would always make fun of me for being bad, and then I'd get mad at you and tell you to shut the fuck up. Oh, those were the good days.
Yeah, but we always played like one of the games that I'm horrible at. You know.
I really like the. Oh yeah, I'm so much better than you at Halo. I like the I like the Ape Escape stream, though. I can't remember what it was. You were making fun of me for, like, fucking up in a part that I had been doing for, like, an hour, and I started to get really pissed off, and I just fucking, like, started screaming, like, shut the fuck up, Rabid Waffles, because at the time I didn't really call you by your first name.
It's better that we started, like, doing that on the stream, that we started doing that in the streams and, like, in videos and stuff, calling me by my first name. It just feels weird to call me by my YouTube name.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't call me by my YouTube name either.
Yeah.
It's just much more personal.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird because it's like, I'm not talking to you just because you're a YouTuber.
Right. I remember you used to kiss my ass so much when you would talk about how good my videos are.
Yeah, and I barely watch them now.
And you also used to comment all the time, like, trying to get me to watch your videos. I remember when you first started, like, uploading again, like years ago, before I started talking to you face to face. But you started doing videos on, like, on your channel. You're like, hey, can you watch my video? Like, you would literally put comments on my videos asking me to come watch your video.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, granted, if I upload a video, sometimes I'll message you and be like, hey, I uploaded this in case you're interested. Like, sometimes I do that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when when a new Sergeant Friends goes up, I'll let you know that it's up. But I think that's because you have a vested interest in it.
Nowadays, I don't really care if you see all my videos. It's more just, like...
I think I do see all your videos. I watch all of your videos, and you don't watch mine. You're a bad friend, Corbin.
No.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving you shit. I don't expect you to watch all of them. I don't expect anybody to watch all of them, because I have, like, a lot.
That pique my interest.
Yes.
The ones that seem like I typically watch ones where you're giving your opinions on, like, movies and shows and stuff.
I do a lot of those.
Yeah, but I mean, like, stuff I've seen.
That's fair.
When you're talking about something that's, like, too far from, like, anything I've seen, I don't watch it.
Like what?
Like some obscure anime that's, like, unrelated to any kind of anime that I've seen. Like, I don't care about, like, animes involving, like, robots, and I don't care about animes involving, like, I'm not necessarily interested in every Go-Nagai ones except, like, the horror-themed ones, really.
Okay, well, let me put it this way, Corbin. I used to not like mecha either, but I think that was a stupid opinion, because I fucking loved, like, kaiju stuff, so it makes no sense not to like mecha stuff, too.
I don't like mecha just because, like, I think creatures are cooler, and
I'd
think
agree.
Actual bloody violence is cooler than...
No, I agree. I like, look, mecha is not my favorite. I'm not, like, super crazy about mecha. I'm not, like, in love with it, but I do like certain mecha things.
I like Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I haven't seen that.
But I like that more because of its themes and because and also it's not like a typical mecha anime because the robots kind of are monsters.
There's a lot of mecha like that, so I don't know how that's so... I mean, granted, that kind of started a lot of tropes, so I mean, fair, but...
Also, I just like, I also like how in Neon Genesis Evangelion they have to get past, like, their low budget at times. Because they spend all their money on, like, really early on. And then and also it kind of fits the depressing theme, the way they have, like, full shots of, like, people going up an elevator for, like, a minute. And just, you have to, like, just see them in that elevator, not talk to each other. And that itself sort of explains their characters enough.
I see. Corbin, what's your opinion on superhero movies?
I like the ones that are different.
Yeah, I think the superhero genre kind of sucks dick, and they're mostly all kind of the same thing.
I don't care about most MCU and DC movies, but there are definitely ones that are more interesting to me because there are some that get made by competent people that have an actual artistic view.
Yeah, have you seen the Suicide Squad, the new one?
No, I haven't, but it has, like, Pete Davidson in it, and it has, like,
John Cena.
Yeah, so it seems like I want to watch it at some point, but I don't know.
I'll tell you this.
It looks gotta be good.
I'll tell you this. It is the best DCEU movie, and I'm saying DCEU specifically. It's not the best DC movie. The best DC movie is Joker, hands down. But it's the best DCEU movie.
Is it a sequel to the original Suicide Squad, or is
yes,
that not
yes,
canon
it is, but it ignores, like, it doesn't really bring it up a whole lot.
Okay, so it's not just so the original Suicide Squad isn't just not canon anymore.
No, it's still canon. Also, Harley Quinn is, like, the cringiest part of the new one. I think that a lot of her lines are just bad.
Have you seen Birds of Prey? That movie was delightful.
Of course I haven't seen Birds of Prey. That was basically Fuck Men the movie.
Yeah. I watched that because my mom likes Harley Quinn. She was like, "Go watch this movie with me." I look over at my mom and I'm like, "This is the most infuriated I've ever been in a movie ever. I'm going in my room."
You're like, my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined.
I didn't like that movie. I couldn't watch the whole thing.
It's fucking stupid.
It's literally like it's women are amazing, men are all evil, horrible people.
Mm-hmm.
But this new Suicide Squad, as far as I can tell, there's a Rat Man, there's a WWE Invisible Guy.
Let me tell you who the best character in the movie is, though.
Who?
The Shark. The Shark is the best fucking character in the movie.
Is he a nerd?
No,
something?
He's a big dumb shark. Like, he's not very smart. Like, he's like not quite human intelligence. But he has some of the best scenes in the movie. Like,
that's interesting because that in the Harley Quinn's cartoon series, he's supposed to be a genius.
No, he's fucking dumb.
That's funny.
But like, there's a scene
but
where
even in the comics, he's supposed to be a genius.
Okay, but in the movie, there's a scene where they're all like trying to like do like a sneaky thing. Like, they're all sneaking around, right? And they're calling out to see if there's any guards and stuff. And they're like reporting in on the radio. And like, they're all reporting relevant stuff. And then the shark gets on. He's just like, bird. Because there's like a bird in front of him. And then they're just like, stay off the comms. They just tell him not to talk to them because he's not saying anything important. But even though I really liked the movie, I'm not like crazy about it because, again, it was just another superhero movie, and a lot of the stuff was just kind of the same.
Isn't it just like DC Guardians of the Galaxy?
Basically, yes. And I like
Guardians of the Galaxy. I like, but also like it's nothing special.
Like, yeah, like, and again, like that's kind of how I feel about this new Suicide Squad movie. It was fun, but it's not something I'll probably go out of my way to watch again. You know what I mean?
It's just kind of, I feel like it's just kind of a movie I'd want to watch with friends or something.
Yeah, and that's what I did. I watched it with one of my friends who really wanted to watch it because I had no interest because I don't like superheroes really.
That's what, because it's like that. Is it Martin Scorsese that
Martin
said
Scorsese,
it,
yeah.
that said that they're just like amusement park rides.
Yeah.
Superhero movies.
Yeah.
And that if you want to find like, because I don't really like watching movies very much unless there is some kind of, if there's something I can get from it more than just enjoyment.
I mean, I like to watch bad movies for fun too, though. I mean, there is a balance.
Yeah. But I typically like to watch something that has more meaning to me than just.
I agree to an extent. I mean, there are moods that I get in where I just want to watch a really stupid bad movie to laugh at. Like, I do like doing that. Like, hence why we watch Neil Breen and stuff like that. It's fun. But,
I can't stop thinking about him just his head going down, spilling coffee everywhere.
I love the ending with all the fucking, like, people committing suicide and, like, the crowd clapping and applauding it. Because he, like, hacked into all of their databases without getting too specific.
It's funny. It's just a way for him to go on, like, a power trip and write himself as, like, this genius hacker, but not actually knowing anything about it to make it interesting.
It does make me laugh, though, that his audience, like, strokes his ego and makes him think he's, like, a genius.
Like Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, but Frankie Muniz is a genuine genius. He just can't remember all the stuff he learned. That's the drawback.
Boy genius. It's funny though that in that magazine it doesn't look anything like Frankie Muniz, because in the show they constantly have actors that don't actually look like the actors in like scenes for like split seconds.
Yeah, those double scenes are so stupid.
Yeah, because the doubles they have for all the people never actually look like the people they're doubling for.
Right. I remember when you showed me the first one, I'm like, is that one on the right supposed to be Malcolm? And you're like, yes.
It doesn't make sense, because everybody knows Malcolm's in the middle.
RDRR, Corbin.
RDRR.
Hardy har har.
I like how did Bart not get the joke? And if he did get the joke, why didn't he laugh?
He got it when she explained it, and it wasn't funny, so he just kind of went, oh.
Bart has a bad sense of humor.
Yeah, no one should question just how funny RDRR is. It's super funny, alright? I mean, I quoted all the time, so clearly it left an impact on me, but...
When I was a kid, it was just like, the math jokes in The Simpsons. There are actually a lot of math jokes in The Simpsons.
Is there?
Yeah. I remember as a kid, I noticed a lot of them.
I can only think of that episode as containing any. Oh, no. Bart Gets an F has the one where he's thinking about,
Yeah.
what does he think? He's thinking about, like, he has... Yeah, there's a lot of them in Bart Gets an F.
They have a lot of, like, math wordplay stuff, though.
Yeah. Do you remember the Family Guy one where the guy's like, now when you go down the road there, you're going to come to a perpendicular intersection that's going to run... Like, he goes through all this complicated stuff, and then he just randomly says, solve for X.
When I'm at my job, though, I hate it when old people give me money.
Yeah?
They always give it to me in the worst way they possibly can.
What, too much contact?
They'll either give me, like, okay, so they're buying something that's, like, $5. They give me, like, a $50 bill.
Or they'll give you, like, 100 nickels.
Yeah. That was the next thing I was going to say. Or they'll just give me a bunch of change that I have to count. And it's like, you realize that I literally can't just accept that I can't, like, they'll count, like, change in front of me, but they won't actually say what they're counting it. They're just counting it in their head in front of me.
You're just bad at counting, Corbin.
Just give me all of your change and I'll count it, because I got to count it either way. So
yeah, that's
just give
true.
me your change and I'll count.
Yeah, you know what I used to do when I worked in the drive-thru? I used to tell people, like, when someone would order a large soda, right, which they're all $1. So with tax, they were $1.08. Mm-hmm. So I'd be like, all right, that's going to be 40, or no, what was it? That's 26 nickels and 3 pennies.
Also,
wait, is that right? Hold on. I used to know it exactly. I might be wrong. It might have been 21 nickels and 3 pennies. Yeah, it's 21 nickels and 3 pennies. My bad. And then when they would order something, when they'd order 2 things that were $1, it'd be 2.16. So I'd be like, that's 43 nickels and a penny. Well, one lady who was a regular, she heard me say that every time she came by, right? So one day she literally came by with a bag that had 43 nickels and a penny, and she's like, all right, here you go. And it made me smile, I'm not going to lie. It made me happy because I said that shit to her every time, and then she did it. Also reminds me of the time that this lady asked me, like, she pulled up at the drive-thru, right? And she's like, what's 39 cents? And I'm like, that'd be 61 cents less than $1. And she's like, that's not what I mean, you smartass. I mean, what on your menu is 39 cents? I mean, I'm like, I guess the apple pie if you don't count tax. But she's like, what's 39 cents? And I'm like, 61 cents less than $1?
and
The fuck you want me to say?
I've noticed something. I can either show up to work, and there'll be a man there, and it'll be a good day, and I'll have no problems, and I'll even have a couple good conversations in that day. Or I'll come to work, and there'll be women there, and they'll talk a lot, and I won't talk a lot. And I'll be doing a lot, and they won't.
Yeah. Such is the way of the worm.
Yeah.
That's a
I
Delta
wish
Moon
we
quote.
didn't have that. I wish that master worm wasn't ruling the world currently, and we all had to do its bidding. But sometimes you gotta make sacrifices.
I was just making a Delta Rune quote, but you decided to make it new lore for the channel. Dude, is the master secretly a worm?
Secretly,
Sounds like the name of a clickbait article.
I don't think anybody would click on that. I don't think that has any relevance to anybody. I guess for laughs.
I don't know. You ever been on Clickhole?
Have you been to Movie Poop Shoot?
No.
Jay and Silent Bob have.
Okay. What is it?
And they're gay.
Oh.
Because Kevin Smith sucks.
Yes, he does. He used to be cool.
That movie wasn't good, I'm gonna be honest. I watched the Jay and Silent Bob Strike, but a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't very good. It was boring.
Yeah.
When was the last good movie Kevin Smith made? Because I feel like the last things I've watched of him weren't very good.
Depends on how you define good. Like, genuinely well written, I'd argue he's only made one good movie, Clerks.
I think Walrus was a good movie.
Oh, I love Tusk.
Tusk
I
was
love
well written.
Tusk. Tusk is great. I love Tusk.
Tusk had good dialogue.
Yeah, I love Tusk. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I also, when it comes to dialogue, the Clerks movies and Tusk are my favorite.
Yeah.
afterwards.
Like Clerks 2, I still like Clerks 2 a lot. I just wouldn't call it a genuinely well-written, well-constructed movie. I love it, but...
The dialogue feels realistic, though, and that's where most of the enjoyment comes from me with Clerks.
Yeah.
Is I feel like they really got dialogue down.
Yes, especially in the first Clerks movie, like Randall's speech at the end.
Also, why is I think it's funny that Quiet Rob talks a lot in like the movies. Like it's like I know that's like the joke of like Silent Rob. But wait, okay, I'm getting the names so confused.
Yes, and you've confused me because I'm still not sure which one you're talking about. Because you said it's funny that Quiet Rob talks all the time in the movies, and I'm like, we haven't done any movies.
Okay, so Silent Bob in the movies, he does like in each movie he'll like either yell really loud or he'll give like a long speech.
Okay.
So he's not a very silent Bob, I gotta say.
Yeah. Quiet Rob just screams a lot. I do like the line in Burt Cocaine, though, where his only line in the episode is, "My life is endless suffering."
I think he's a good character.
And we stole it. No one will
I think
ever
so
know.
far- I think so far, though, I still think my two best characters are Pedro and Beaner.
Yeah, they're good.
But I would say Quiet Rob is actually my third favorite.
Yeah.
And you do a couple good ones, too, I guess.
Hey, I mean, Beaner was my idea as a concept. I came up with his name.
I guess you deserve all the credit then, okay.
And it was my idea to do an episode that was a parody of The Problem with Apu, which led to the creation of
I
it.
was always trying to take credit for my work.
I like that people disliked your video where you said that, like, I was ripping you off. Like, you got more likes than dislikes, but you got a couple dislikes. Because I don't think
So
people...
people actually thought it was, like, for real.
Yeah, they thought you were actually, like, accusing me of ripping you off or something.
That's what it's all about.
It's funny, because a lot of people, I think that, don't watch all of my content, or, like, don't know, like, the deep lore that is my content. They have no idea, like, there's people who don't know who you are, even though you're, like, a huge part of the channel.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm on here so frequently, but nobody knows who I am. Just because, like, those are the videos that everybody skips.
The shit shows get a decent amount of views.
I don't watch them, so I don't know.
So,
Yeah, I watch them, but I only watch them, like, once, and I never watch them for, like, a year.
I go back and listen to our old ones all the time.
I listen to the old ones, like, I listen to them, like, every year or so.
Yeah.
Like an old thing I did with you. Like, it usually takes me a while before I'm like, okay, it's been a while enough, I can go back and watch it. And then I'm surprised by, like, most of the time I feel awkward just because I feel like that's true about a lot of people. A lot of people just feel awkward just hearing themselves talk and stuff. But sometimes I actually do surprise myself when I look back at, like, old videos, because sometimes I do say things that are funny and I actually think, man, I didn't know I could think of that.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's just embarrassing.
There was this app. I can't remember what kind of app it was. It might have been like an investing app or something, but it was called Lolly, and it was new. It was a new thing that came out like last year, and I remember there was an ad for it on YouTube, and it starts by saying, "Have you heard of Lolly?" I'm like, "Excuse me? What did you just say?" I'm like,
The funny thing, it's like at the. I sure do love to suck on lollies.
no, but it'd be really funny, like if like it was just like some app that was like openly promoting like lolly hentai.
I like licking those lollies like to their creamy centers. I'll tell you that much. I can tell that Norm Macdonald joke, and it'll be really bad because I can't even think because last time I could barely say it, and now I'm really tired and stupid.
Yeah.
So here we go. So there's a teacher, and she says, "All right, kids, get you all the kids in this classroom have to give me a story of a family member that has a moral lesson to it." One kid says, "All right, well, my mother, she works on a chicken farm and a hatchery, and she has all the eggs in the back of her horse and buggy, and they all just fall over and crack, and it's a horrible mess." And then she goes, yes, that the moral lesson to that is whatever that moral lesson is, I don't remember. And then she asks another student, okay, what's your story? And then the student says, well, my father, he works at a chicken farm and a hatchery. Most of our relatives work at chicken farms and hatcheries. It's just kind of the local thing. So the kid says, my father, he always counts his eggs as chickens before he goes and he takes them into town. But one day he had the chickens in the back and he had the eggs in the back, like the horses are typically, but there were no horses.
God damn it.
But the problem is all those eggs cracked, but he'd counted them as chickens. And the lesson to that is, don't count eggs as chickens, because that's kind of dumb.
It wasn't a chicken, it was a baby.
Mash.
Oh, yeah.
And then the teacher goes, oh, yes, that's a good lesson. And then she says, who's next? She goes, dang it. Little Johnny. This kid, Little Johnny. I don't like him, I gotta say, but I already said, I took an oath as a teacher. I gotta let every kid talk, so I gotta hear him, what he has to say. Gosh darn that oath I took back in 21. But, anyways, Little Johnny shows up, and Little Johnny starts telling his story. And he says, my Uncle Phil, he didn't work in a chicken farm or a hatchery. In fact, he hates people that work in chicken farms and hatcheries. My Uncle Phil was in Vietnam, and one day his platoon, they abandoned him in the jungle. All they left him with was his weapons and 3 bottles of Jack Daniels. Well, Uncle Phil started drinking those Jack Daniels up pretty quickly, and he went off exploring into the jungle until he found a village. And he couldn't tell if the people in this village were non-combatants or if they were his enemy, and he rightfully didn't care. All them foreigners were basically the same to him. And so he started shooting at them, already in a drunken stupor, and he slaughtered men, women, and of course children. And after this massacre was completed, he had realized that there was a wetness in his pants, and he felt great shame at the thought that he might have urinated himself in fear. But then he realized it wasn't urination, it was ejaculation. And that shame became pride. And then the teacher said, Jesus Christ, what the hell is the lesson of this story? What could possibly be the moral? And Little Johnny says, I don't know, but I know not to mess with Uncle Phil when he's drunk, that's for sure.
Yeah, he saw them and he killed them, but not just the men, but the women and the children. They're animals, and he slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
Is that how it is?
No, we're still recording. Because there was something I was going to say, but then I forgot what it was.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how it ends.